Rob Demovsky with Pete Dougherty of the Press-Gazette here after the first day of the draft. And Pete, the Packers used the 26th overall pick to select UCLA defensive end Datone Jones. Who else? What were some of their other options at that point, and any idea why you think they went with this guy?
You know, the pick of Jones suggests really strongly that he was going to go, Ted Thompson was going to go defensive line, if at all possible. Sly Williams from North Carolina, another defensive lineman, was still on the board. Looked going into the draft that it was pretty unlikely he was going to be there. He looked like a top 20, maybe 22 pick at the worst. So the fact that he took Jones ahead of Williams, when I would think he might have taken Williams ahead of, if he was considering running back Eddie Lacy, for instance, my guess is he would have taken Williams ahead of Lacy. So that tells you defensive line was the target for the first round pick, if at all possible.
It looks like, based on what this guy did at UCLA and what the scouts have said about him, that he's a possible three-down player, could play defensive end in the 3-4, can be an inside rusher. They haven't had a ton of those complete guys, maybe since Colin Jenkins. How do you think he fits into their group?
You know, the one he's got the length. You know, he's almost 6'4". You know, one thing had him at 6'4" and 1/8, another at 6. The combine was 6'3" and 7/8. So he's got the length, which they don't have a lot of that in their defensive linemen. They 3-4 defenses like that because they two gap, and that's a way to get the blocker off them. Then they can go either way to make a play if they need to. So it sounds like this is in part a reaction to what happened in San Francisco, and this is an athletic, faster guy. The difference between him and Williams is a 315-pound guy. This is a 285-pound guy who's a little faster and quicker. He ran 4.80, which is like a slow linebacker basically, which is pretty fast. So I think they're reacting to the Colin Kaepernicks of the world.
That'll do it for day one. Packers have 2 picks on day 2, one in the second and one in the third.